Hello everyone, I am extremely excited to announce the winner of the TDU Lighting Challenge this month, the Axolotl. I will announce that in a second. I will also be announcing the November TDU Lighting Challenge after I announce the winner, so stick around for that. But let me move into my screen here. As you can see, we have 17 amazing, fantastic submissions for this project. And I can't tell you how this lighting challenge made me so happy because A, it filled my Facebook feed with axolotls, which I love, and B, I just love seeing the creativity that you all have and the ability for you to take an image and push it further than I ever could have imagined. But right now we're about picking a winner, so I want to showcase Nicholas, who created this beautiful, rich palette with deep darks and beautiful range and just getting the character to pop and beautiful shaping. I love the work that Nick did, and therefore Nicholas is our winner today. So some things that we really liked about it, again, this little bit of a shadow creeping across here, getting focused down on his face. We really love that. We love the subtle shaping, again, coming top down across in there. We just love the color palette. Like these blues and greens and the surrounding are just so rich and so lovely. It was just like a really relaxing. It just creates an emotion within me that feels very serene. Love the depth of field. Love the little bits of particulates you're getting floating in there. You really feel like this is a really nice balance of I feel like I'm underwater because of these caustics. These caustics back here, and also like the little particulates bouncing around. Just love all that stuff. If there was, because again, we're all about getting better here. A couple critiques. It would be nice to get a slight bit more shaping back in here. I do like that it's dark and it's rich, and again, popping forward versus the lifted background because of the aerial perspective that you're getting. But I would just like to see a little bit more variation and just some detail in there to know what's going on. Love these little rims that you're getting around. All the reference that we were seeing from axolotls, you're always seeing that rim around there. But it's just these areas here where you're getting a lot of backlight. It's coming through as being a little bit orange, and it would be nice to maintain that pinkish hue. Love the variation you're getting in the skin. Like a lot of the submissions, you can just see that the character is pink, and you're not getting like this kind of red, rosy variation in there, and that's really, really nice. The eyes look great. Everything's just working really well. Love the depth of field distance between here and here. You definitely feel a sense of his scale, his size. And then the only other thing would be whenever, and this is like just like bonus and just something to be aware of, whenever we're doing like movie posters or marketing stills or anything like that for films, one of the things that you can do is you can go in and paint in some additional detail in here just from like from photo reference or something, but just something to be aware of, so you don't always have to rely on, because the other option would be creating a texture map that's like 8K or something to really get in that area. So sometimes it's better to just kind of piece together something in Photoshop. So just something to be aware of there. But overall, love the color palette that you chose, love everything about this, and congratulations again. I want to take you all through a couple other ones here real quick that we really liked. We have Krithix here. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but we really loved this inspiration of the underlighting here. We think that's so cool. The particulates floating around, the color palette. This is just a really pretty, fun image. And this was one of the definitely in the discussion of being a winner, but there were a few things about it that like the kind of splotchiness in his skin was a little bit too much. Getting the specular highlight on top without much justification. These are looking a little bit like universally glowy without having some variation in there. Again, same thing with the hands. We're not really seeing some of those rim values. And then underneath, like the base of the phone is again going to be reflective, and you're never really going to see like these kind of super darks in there. But that is really nitpicky stuff because this is a beautiful, good image. You can also get, wanted to see some more variation in this deep background there. Just something kind of a little bit more, I think it would almost be more like saturated, or just some saturation variation back there, just something to kind of break it up a little more. But overall, I think this is a really, really successful image. It's a fun story. You're doing a great job of doing that. And yeah, I love that you can now have this to add to your demo reel, and that's really what these projects are all about. A couple others I wanted to point out. Sylvain, this was what you said in your post, that this was one of the first lighting projects you've ever done, and I want to commemorate you on that. This is such a cool thing that you're doing, and you're actually off to a really good start. Like, you're doing one of the hardest things about lighting, which is telling a story. Like, there's definitely a story here, right? There's definitely, like, he's leading into this scene, and that's a very, very cool thing. And he's definitely, like, reaching towards something. Like, look at the awe on his face. He's excited. He's ready to go. And I think that you're doing some really cool stuff. I think there's some more detail that can go in. There can be some more variation back in here, going across here. There can be a little bit more life in his skin tone and his skin color. He's looking a little pale. We're losing a little bit of that personality. We can really use the skin tone to help pop him off in the background. Love the depth of field and the framing you're getting here and here, but we can dial that in a little bit. There's some glowy elements that we can get here. Like this edge is it's a little bit too hard cut out. I'd really like to kind of blur that up a little bit, and then do some other things there. But for a first lighting project, this is about 1,000,000 times better than anything I created my first time around. Landon, you did a really nice job of creating shaping here. Love, again, getting that detail in the skin, getting the depth of field. This background is a little bit too super saturated green. I would take that down. Some of these highlights are kind of flattening out, so just watch out for that. Again, a very strong project, a very strong piece. Definitely something that you can add to your demo reel and build from. Cynthia. Again, same thing. Like you're really getting the concepts, and I love that. Is that you guys are getting some good shaping across here. I would like to see a little bit more attention to the eyes, get a little more shaping and detail in there. This mouth value, which is a really, really hard challenge about him, was done extremely well. Again, dark values in the foreground to help separate it out from the background. You're getting you're getting a good feeling of depth. You're really doing a good job there. But just watch out for some of these super saturated points on his skin there. And then Hussein, love the aspect ratio, love his personality. Look at look the minor variations in there, the little bit of specular in there, just so beautiful. And again, this is telling a story. It's he's meeting this guy and they're becoming best friends. I think that you could do a little bit. The one area that I would like to see you improve upon again is these dark values, to feel them stepping back in space, because his dark points feel the same as this, feel a little bit lifted from that, a little bit darker than that, but they're all kind of living in the same realm. I would like to see a little bit more darker, some more darker values out of these foreground characters to really kind of help pop them forward and pull them back. But again, I'm singling out some here, but it's really good stuff. Again, Donica, you're doing a really good job of starting to tell a story. You've got this guy popping out here, starting to come after him. But there's some technical things that we could work on. I saw one variation earlier where there was more shaping on him. I would like to get some of that back, but you're doing a good job of getting shaping back in here. And again, it's just creating depth, creating space, telling the story, creating the mood, directing the viewer's eye. Because again, this very pink is a nice pop off in the background. But again, to go back to some of the other ones, it'd be better to get some variation in there. Juan, yours is just pure happiness personified. I love everything looks really nice and lifted. Love this little bit of volumetric light coming in from the top. Just feeling the scale of this guy is great. This ground looks really fantastic. It looks like it's out of Piper or something. It looks really good. It's just we're because of the translucency that you're getting on him, we're losing some of this variation on him a little bit. And for his skin to be this bright, it'd be nice for his eyes to get a little brighter. And then again, just these around the outside here, his little tentacles, hair. Let's just call it his hair is looking a little bit flat and even, but the overall mood is there. You're telling a story, telling a mood. It's just about getting the shaping a little bit more. Again, I encourage you guys to look at all of these. There's really, really cute, cool elements in all of them. Praveen, again, cool aspect ratio. I think you're the only one that's kind of telling the whole story. This is really successful up there. the way that the water surface looks, and kind of this like these bright patches up here at the top are just really, really pretty. Your caustics are looking really nice. It's just a matter of like telling a little bit more of a story and getting this character to read a little bit better, like kind of staging it so it's a little more cinematic, a little more just like I said, just like telling a story, leading the audience on the way. But again, really brilliant job, and yeah, like you guys are just absolutely killing it, and I can't tell you how amazing this is. But now I want to jump into the next lighting challenge for November. Here it is, our next TDU lighting challenge. This is for the month of November. This is a boy and his snail. So go ahead and sign up for our asset library. I'll put a link down below this video. Sign up for it. You'll have access to this model, all the shaders, and an entire PDF that describes for you how to apply the shaders to your scene, because we want this to be flexible and to be used in any software. So you can use this in Maya, in Houdini, in 3D Studio Max, or any software that you want. So go crazy with it, light it up. We do have one rule change from the other lighting challenges, so you can see all the rules listed here. Our one big rule change is for this one, you have to include reference images. We have to know what your goal is. We have to know what you want. We had somebody comment that would be a really good addition, and I think that's great. So because it simulates what we do in studios, which is we look at images and then we try and match it to what we're doing. But I don't want to give you guys reference. I want you to determine your own style, your own look, and I want that to be based on either some artwork that you create or something you found or some paintings or some sculptures or whatever you need it to be. But let's download this scene, make it look better than I made it look here, and keep going and get after it, guys. We're really excited to see what you come up with.